Hello, 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 and welcome to the KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show. I am your host, Kaylin John Louis, and it is my honor to be on the air with you all today. Just a friendly reminder to make sure that you are downloading the Hallelujah 95.3 app so that you can listen to the show on the go with your family and friends. I also encourage you to make sure you're staying safe even as we are approaching different seasons, approaching different times. Make sure that you use the buddy system, and if you feel comfortable, please use safety precautions to ensure your health and other people's. I also want to continue to say that we still are sending love to those who have been hit by the devastating hurricane. It has caused a lot of damage to some people in Florida. So I send my prayers to you all and just to anybody who is going through something. Know that I care about you. I love you. And I am keeping you in my prayer. Also, just to let you all know, I do thank every single person who continuously tunes into the show because it allows me to be able to continue to bring inspirational moments and motivational conversations to be able to just highlight people and talk about some topics in our community. But to get into today's topic, last week I decided to highlight the young lady in the community who was using her voice for change. And after doing so, I knew that I had to recognize and celebrate so many other youth, but in particular, two young men in our Tallahassee community who are using their entrepreneurial spirit and have made a difference and are continuing to make a difference in our community. So today I have the honor of having two local youth entrepreneurs, Ethan and Edward Chapman, with me today as we take a look into the Chapman brothers' world. We'll also discuss their businesses and their latest achievements. But before we bring them in, I do want to give them their proper introduction. So the Chapman boys are two brilliant young youth entrepreneurs in the Tallahassee community. The first young man's name is Ethan Chapman, who is a 7-year-old seventh grader at Florida Virtual School. Outside of being a scholar, he's also the author of the book, The Important People in My Community, which is available on Amazon or can be purchased directly from the author using Cash App. The second young man's name is Edward Chapman III, and he is 11-year-old sixth grader at Florida Virtual School. He's also the founder of 3D Line, a business where he teaches others drum lessons and sells merchandise. Both brothers are musicians who are part of their family band called the Chapman Family Band, where they're able to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ through music. They also are active members at their church, Family Worship and Praise Center, and they just won the title of Local and National Youth Entrepreneurs of the Year by the Lemonade Day organization. These young men strive to inspire youth and adults to accomplish their dreams and goals. Again, their names are Ethan and Edward Chapman, and I am pleased to have them on the air with me today. Welcome to the show, Chapman brothers.
Hello.
So glad to have you on. Y'all, these are two very, very talented, doing great things in the community young men that I've had the opportunity to see via social media, hoping to meet one day in person, but they're just doing so much in the community. So we're going to get right into talking about your entrepreneur spirit. And that starts with the business you have together, which is your lemonade business. So I'm wondering from the both of you, what's the name of your lemonade business and how long have you been entrepreneurs?
The name of our lemonade business is called the Chapman Brothers Lemonade Stand. And I've been an entrepreneur for 5 years.
And I've been an entrepreneur for 2 years.
Love it, love it. So y'all both have experience being able to sell products, give them out, and also hear wonderful reviews about your product. Now, doing this and being able to sell lemonade in your community, you've been able to get to higher achievements, which is the title of Local and National Youth Entrepreneurs of the Year. I first want to say congratulations because that is a huge accomplishment. And I'm wondering, how did it feel to be honored with this title?
It felt really good because we got to go to Houston, Texas, and also we got to take home a trophy. And we went there to do a presentation, and it was also very exciting because we were the first winners from Florida, so that was also really big. And when we went to Houston, Texas, we wanted to make it like a family trip, so we went and visited the aquarium, and we also went to the pool.
Ooh, nice vacation. I know the aquarium had to be fun. And to go to Houston, that's a nice trip to go out there, see new places, and experience new things. I am so proud just to know that you both are doing something awesome. And I mean, everybody has lemonade business, but I know there's something special about people seeing you two have that lemonade with a big smile and just being able to simply bless someone's day with some food. I mean, I know I like food, so anytime being able to sell that is cool. Now, Ethan, I heard you're an author, a young author. And so I want you to tell the audience a little bit about the name of your book and why you created it.
Yes, I am. And the name of my book is The Important People in My Community. I wrote the book to show that everyone's job is important and we should appreciate each and every one. For example, one of the people inside my book is Harry, the sanitation worker. Some people don't think his job is important because he picks up trash. But if he did not do this, the streets would be full of trash and people could get sick. This is why I believe his job is just as important as everyone else's job. I also wrote the book to inspire other kids to read and write.
Inspiring. I know that one. I agree with you on the sanitation workers. I'm glad that they have those around because I am not a person who likes trash, and I'm happy that there are those to be there to help make the world a better place. Not just them, but I'm sure that you have policemen and just showing all the common jobs that people see every day because those people are important. I mean, to some people, they're the little guys. They're not the big things everybody aspires to be, but they still are very important to us in our world. So that is great. How can people purchase your book?
There's 2 ways to buy my book, on Amazon or directly from me.
Awesome. And what is the way? I know they can get it directly from you. Is that through Cash App?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the Cash App so other people
Cash
can
App is # Ethan the author.
Y'all make sure that you go purchase a book, The Important People in My Community. I have seen it and it is lovely. Now, there's always that little brother duo in there. So I heard someone did the illustrations in the book. Who was that?
It was me. I did the illustrations.
Y'all are always working together. I love it. The brother bond, the lovely family just working together. And it's another way for you all to impact the community through your creative expression. So I really, really like that. Now, Edward, I heard you have a drumline business. And I don't know about anybody else who may be listening, but I love music. It is my therapy. It is my thing. So go ahead and tell the audience about what it's called and why you created it.
The name of my business is called Third's Drumline, and I created the business because I like the way music makes me and others feel, and I also love drumming. I also created the business because I wanted to give back to my community. So, in my business, I teach beginners drum lessons, I sell apparel, and I'm also available for booking, so you can book myself or my band to play live music at events.
Well, y'all get to booking, get to buying some merchandise because I know you may hear a kid playing music. The typical person may think of someone, but I know that he does a great job and you all, I believe, should check it out. Make sure, and even if you have a little young one who may be listening or you have someone that is looking to get drum lessons and wants to learn a new hobby. So go ahead, patronize business. You have a lovely organization that you can sew into and be able to learn stuff about. So go ahead, make sure you do that. I mean, I know I keep saying that y'all are entrepreneurs and y'all are doing great stuff, but it's so important because there are a lot of people who are scared to be doing what you're doing. So that is just a hand clap within everything because y'all are young. We all are youth. We both are youth, but it's just knowing that I know I did stuff when I was little, but y'all are younger than me. Y'all are starting earlier than me. So imagine who's coming behind us. There's so many incredible leaders in our generation that are rising up, and I'm very proud of the both of you.
Thank
And
you.
of course. Now, outside of running your business, I know we're kids, we do things that are fun outside of school, outside of running a business. So, what are some of y'all's favorite things to do? We can start with Ethan.
Some of my favorite things are exercise, dance, read, and spend time with the family.
I love exercising. I've gotten into that lately too. It's a stress reliever and it's a way to kind of get yourself physically and mentally healthy. So, love it, love it. What about you, Edward?
I like to play sports such as basketball and football, and I also like to spend time with my family.
I love it. Hooping and being able to do things. I know that's a fun outlet to be able to go out, play with other people, get into the community even the more just to do fun stuff. But I noticed you both mentioned family. It seems like y'all are both family oriented, and a lot of the stuff that you do is surrounded with your family. It's grounded, and y'all have a family band, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How did that get started?
So we have a single out. It's called Heal Our Land. And we wrote that song because we had a tragic loss in our family in 2020. And we wanted to dedicate this song to him and those who've lost loved ones to COVID or to violence. And the song is based off the scripture, 2 Chronicles 7:14, where God talks about healing our land because that's our prayer, to heal our land. So if you can, whoever's watching, please go check it out and listen to it because it's on all digital platforms.
Yes, check out Heal Our Land. And I love that. I love music that has a meaning behind it because you know there's a lot of people out there who may be rapping or playing and they have nothing to do with it. It's just them doing stuff because they're bored. But to know that you are using it as therapy for other people, that is awesome. And I mean, I agree. There's a lot that needs to be healed in our land. And to know that everything is based off that spiritual relationship with God, being able to spread the gospel, I think that's very important because again, there are not that many youth out there who at your all ages are just saying, I firmly believe in God and I'm going to spread it out. So that is very commendable. And I am proud. I'm happy to know that y'all are using your voices, you're using your talents to help other people.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, you have that. You do stuff outside of school and you run businesses. You have so much going on. But I know to be able to have started your businesses and to have become the people you are, that you have those role models that you look up to. And so I want to start off kind of with Edward. Who is someone you look up to and why?
I look up to my parents because they teach me about character and about musicianship. For example, my dad, he is a hardworking man and a man of his word. And he is teaching me also how to be a hardworking man and a man of my word. And he is also teaching me how to practice more to get better at my gift. And my mom, she's teaching me that it's not just about your skill, it's about your character and your integrity.
Love that. I love that you're learning at a young age to be standing on what you believe in, standing on what you say, kind of like that saying where they say, mean what you say and say what you mean. And you're also learning how to build and get yourself those characteristics of a leader. You're learning how to show other people the right way. You're learning how to simply be a good young man in our society because there's not that many who may be able to say the same thing. I love that. What about you, Ethan?
I look up to my family, but I look up to my parents, my grandparents, because they teach me how to be a good man and a good entrepreneur.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm sure that hearing that just from your parents, I know with them listening, they're probably beaming with sunshine to just hear that because we all say the same thing. A lot of times when I ask people that question, you have some people who say like famous people that they know, or they'll say like a motivational person that they know. But to hear you say your parents is awesome because I know they're probably patting themselves on the back like, oh, that's my kid. So I know I do the same thing with my mom. I always say that I would not be here without her. She's taught me these important life lessons, and I am grateful that she's been there to do that. And I mean, from them giving y'all tidbits and golden nuggets on how to live your life, I'm sure you've learned your fair share of things to say to other people when they're going through things. And just with your peers, you've learned to be that encouraging voice or that motivational voice. So I want to give y'all both the opportunity to kind of share some encouraging words to other youth who may be wanting to start a business or maybe just scared to get out in the world. So what would you say to them? Let's start with Ethan.
I will tell you to go for it, but make sure you have good character and a good attitude, because if you don't, you won't be successful.
I agree. You got to have a good mindset. It all starts with how you view things. And if you don't view it in the best way and you don't show others that you mean well, then it can sometimes come off that you won't be successful. I mean, I recently read something where you can have the most beautiful building in the world, you have the most beautiful talent in the world, but if your character, if your foundation isn't right, it's not going to work. You're not going to be successful. So I definitely agree. What about you, Edward?
I will tell them that whatever goals they have, I will tell them to go for it. But first, make sure they're passionate about it, because when you're passionate about something and you're working, even though you're working, it doesn't feel like work. I will also tell them that it takes dedication, hard work, and consistency and balance. Because, for example, for me, I have to balance my schoolwork with me playing, also me running my business, and me practicing to better my skill. And for dedication, even when sometimes you want to play with other kids or other adults, whatever you're doing, sometimes you might have to work on your business to better it, because at the end of the day, it's worth it because it's making your business better.
Some good tidbits. I know y'all hear that. I mean, this is coming from people in my generation, coming from youth, and there is still some people who don't get that. I like that you mentioned talking about one, making sure that you're passionate about it, because I don't know about you all or anyone listening, but I don't want to have a job that don't like, I'm bored with. I want to do stuff in my life that I'm truly passionate about. And I think, like Edward said, that it's very important to make sure you truly enjoy helping. Or if you have a calling to play basketball, make sure it's something you want to do for the rest of your life. If you have a calling to be a doctor, make sure you want to keep helping people. Make sure you find something that you love. Then I like that you mentioned being able to keep going. And there's going to be times when you are an entrepreneur where there are going to be opportunities where people are like, hey, let's go out, let's have fun. But you know that you need to stay home to work on your craft. You need to stay home to work on the things that God has given you. And it's very important that you don't get distracted, that sometimes you may have to miss out on those fun events, or you may have to miss out on those things happening in school, but you will know in the end that what you're doing is paying off. It's going to help you in your future, and you're working towards what you're passionate about so that you can live a life of fun, enjoyable moments. So I love that. Y'all are giving great, great tidbits. Is there any other encouraging words you may want to say to anyone?
No, ma'am.
Gotcha. I mean, I like to ask people that question, like, what advice would they give to other people? Because while this is a platform for me to ask you questions and interview other people, I do believe that in the title, it's Inspiring Moments with Kaylin. I always want someone to give that tidbit of encouraging words, and you get to hear it from different perspectives. I mean, I always talk inspiring, motivational, empowering, but to hear your perspective of how you would go about certain things in a situation is very, very important. And so now the last thing I generally ask is, do you all have any questions for me?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. When did you start this podcast, and why did you start this podcast?
I started this podcast back in 2018, I believe. It may have been earlier than that, but I started it because I was going through a rough patch in my family where I was dealing with trying to figure out what was going on, and I needed an outlet to kind of creatively express the stuff I was going through without explicitly saying what I was going through. And that means just being able to me getting on here, encouraging me getting on here to share good things that are happening to brighten other people's day brings me joy. And so I wanted to have something where if somebody was going through bad day or somebody just needed to hear that one encouraging word, that I be that person. Because I mean, you hear all these videos of people saying motivational things, but I've always wanted to be that voice, because I don't have to have 100 people watching me or even all the likes and the fame. If I can touch one person and have that one person hear that they're enough or that they're loved, and it saves them from making an irrational decision, then I know I've done my purpose and I've completed my job. So that's why I started Inspiring Moments with Kaylin. I wanted to help people. I also wanted to create a platform where I could bring young men and women like you who are doing amazing things and highlight you all as well, because a few years ago I was you in that situation, kind of just sharing my entrepreneur skills and being able to get myself out there, and just knowing that even the little things can make a difference. That's how I wanted to kind of help you all and kind of just give you all a platform to share more about what you do. So I'm happy that I can. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, and we're very grateful that we're on the show. Thank you for putting us here.
Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. You have anything that you want to ask me, Ethan?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, I continuously, as I keep saying, these two are examples. And I'm not just saying that because it's another person, like, oh, it's just another kid doing something. No, this is an example. This is an opportunity for those listening to see that there are youth out there that want to make a difference. There are people who care about what's going on in the world. And there's so much negativity that may happen going on, but you have to continue to hear stories like this so that you can get inspired to make change. And even if you're not inspired, you could forward this to someone, or you could tell somebody, hey, tune into the show, because there's going to be people on here talking about their experiences, why they started, and why they continue to keep going. So I think to kind of get to the end point, I do have one more question for the both of you all. And that question would be kind of, what is your why? Why do you continue? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? Why do you continuously want to make a difference? We'll start with Ethan.
I would say I do that because I want to make a difference and show other people that you can be whatever you want to be, but you have to have a good mind and a good attitude.
Gotcha. I love that. What about you, Edward?
I would tell them that, well, the reason why I get up every morning and do this because I have I
It's okay.
I get up every morning and do this because I want to make a difference, and I want to tell everybody that you can start young, but and you don't always have to start while you're old. I will also tell them why I get up every morning and do this is because you get to run your own business, you get to make your own money doing something that you love to do, and you also get to be your own boss. And that's the reason why I do it.
This is the best thing to do, to be your own boss. I mean, you don't have to answer to anyone. You can check yourself, like, self, do I need to do this today? You get to have that conversation. And I mean, your why. I asked you that because I'm glad to hear that you all do it. And I know y'all did it from a genuine heart and y'all are constantly, but I want other people to hear that you don't have an ulterior motive. I mean, there's a lot of people who hear stories like this and they're like, well, do they really want to do this, or are people making them do this? No, they genuinely have the heart to care. They genuinely want other people to see that they're going to make a difference. Even at the age that they are at, they didn't wait for someone to say, okay, wait till you get to be a teenager, or wait. They started. And that's what I encourage everyone listening to do. Take their why, hear their why, and think to yourself, what is my why? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Why do I want to help other people? Or what is my reason I get out of bed? I want you all to think about that as you hear this, because it's very important. And so just to wrap up, with you all telling me your why and everything, I'm glad that you've all told me about your business. You told me your aspirations. And I do want to give you the second again to reiterate again, Ethan, how can people buy your book?
There's 2 ways to buy my book. Again, on Amazon or directly from me.
Okay. And how can people go ahead and tune in with 3D Line, Edward?
You can go to my website, thirdsdrumline.com, and there they have tabs. Under the tab lessons, you can go and book lessons. Under the tab shop, you can go shop for my apparel. And for the booking, it's under the tab booking, so you can go and book me.
Awesome, awesome. And last but not least, how can people get some of your lemonade?
You can go. We usually advertise that on our Facebook pages. Mine is Thirds Drumline, and my mom's is Edward Chapman.
Make sure that you all go there so that you can get in tune with what's going on. They have a pop-up shop or they have anything going. Please patronize and support what they're doing because it matters what their aspirations are. Everything that they've said today, they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. So, boys, thank you so much for coming on. I am so grateful for your time, for your words, and I'm just grateful that you all could be on.
You are welcome, and thank you for having us on the show.
Of course. Now, before I wrap up the show, everyone, as y'all know, I have been announcing this event, but I'm going to say it again because it is very important to me. I am asking that youth organizations, youth or collegiate organizations join me November 12th, 2022 for the Tallahassee Walk to End Alzheimer's. For this walk, I did start the Youth Care 2 movement back last year where I am advocating for other youth caregivers who are caring for a loved one who may be sick, disabled, or cannot do certain things. And so I'm asking that you please join me. I'm asking that you donate as well because my goal this year is to raise $2,000. I was able to reach my goal last year of $1,000, and I believe that I'll reach this goal this year. So if you would like to sow into this initiative or you want to join, you can visit my website at www.kaylinscaringconnection.com/tallywalk2endalls for more information on how you can help. With your help, we can #endalls, and I believe that one day we're going to find a cure for this cruel disease. Before I completely leave, I do say connect with me on all my social media platforms. You can go to YouTube, which is the KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin YouTube channel. I ask that you subscribe and turn on your post notifications because you get to see all the radio segments I have done and anything that is gone with Inspiring Moments with Kaylin. I also ask that you follow me on Instagram, which is at KaylinCares15, to stay on the loop of upcoming radio show segments, upcoming events that I have going on, or even if I'm just sharing what other people are doing in the community. I ask that you tune in on Facebook and LinkedIn at Kaylin's Caring Connection to see the same things that I said on Instagram. And last but certainly not least, please check out the website, which is www.kaylinscaringconnection.com, where you can see all things about Kaylin's Caring Connection. You can see why I started, learn more about me, my team, see some upcoming events that I have coming up, and you can see any past media opportunities that I have. I also do have merchandise if you would like to shop that as well, because all the proceeds from those go to help with my initiative. So I thank you so much. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your support and hope that you continue to enjoy these empowering and motivational conversations. Always know that I care about you, and if no one else has told you today, know that I love you. Thank you for listening, and catch me on the next KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show. Bye-bye.
Bye.